And then I'm gonna, I guess, deafen you and Zach.
All right.
Good luck, boys. Okay. And then now we can just commentate their game.
Good thing that it's been 3 months since I did anything with chess, and it's all fallen out my ears like some kind of toxic sludge. How are you feeling today, co-commentator John?
I haven't stopped playing chess. So
I'm glad to know that while you're on the secure, when you're on the remote islands on the outskirts of Australia, that you found the time to play the age-old sport of chess. So what are you thinking about these openings?
Well, Joel's got a lot of center pressure, I think. I think he needs to, defend that center pawn. So far, I mean, white has a lot of space, but black is looking to long castle and get some counterplay on the king side.
So what do you think about Joel's use of brown and white pieces instead of black and white pieces? I truly am confused in watching
I hate
this.
them.
Pretty
They
terrible.
look very cartoonish, like a third grader drew them, and then I hate that it's like
I think that the piece
bronze.
set, so there's actually a fork on d5 right now. Pawn to d5 is a fork. He's hovering it, but he doesn't see it. I think the piece. So basically, with chess.com, you can choose the pieces, like the way the pieces look, and you can also choose like their color and the board background and everything. I like these.
Ones.
I like these pieces. These pieces actually are the pieces that I use, but this board color and piece color is terrible. It's a real shame.
When I puke after losing my queen, I like looking at puke green boards. I'm with Joel.
Okay, the queen exchange? No? Okay, the queen's just gone, I guess. Queens are going off the board. Right? Maybe?
Oh, no.
Zach, looking for see if it's a tarp?
Just loses a bishop, unfortunately. But he can take the knight. Like, he can take the knight back on f6. Like, if he has to take the knight. Yeah. And then now Zach takes the knight. He can take the bishop. Yeah. So everything said and done, it's a cool +1. After the pieces have flown off the board. Kayla, you've been playing some chess recently.
Shut the fuck up. I lost 4 games to John this afternoon after my doctors told me to de-stress.
There's nothing less stressful than playing games that John is good at and listening to him speak.
Oh, God.
So true.
Then Kayla tried to get me to play golf, and I was just like, I'm okay.
Kayla snubbed for golf once again. At least it wasn't 2 a.m. this time.
She played with Gabe, ironically.
And then I almost...
You play with Gabe ironically as opposed to unironically playing with Gabe?
White's in a lot of trouble in this position. This is falling apart quickly.
Because I know what I play with Gabe. It's all ironic, because I wouldn't want to be caught dead with Gabe.
Ouch.
It's okay. He supplies me drugs, and that's all the friendship we need.
Damn.
John's like, I gotta cut that part out.
No, it's already getting flagged as not child friendly on YouTube.
That's me with all of my Hall of Infamy clips.
So if the rook takes on d1, like rook takes d1, rook takes d1, bishop takes b3, I think is another, you can win another pawn doing that. Yeah, Zach sees it.
I'd like to state for the record that if Devon's listening to this, you're a bitch.
Oh my.
So this is not good, obviously. I think black's, if we look at just like, we compare pawn structures, there's 3 pawn islands for white. and there's only 2 for black, and one is a 4 and one is a 3, and with white there's only 1, 2, and the other 2 are 1s, so it's a bit of a struggle bus. But white's only compensation is it controls the D file with the rook, so we'll see if you can do anything with that. But yeah, these bishops are rotating over. Also, Zach has the bishop pair, which is pretty fucking brutal. Generally, on open positions like this, the bishop pair is better than a pair of knights. There might be some ideas. I think that the only chance that Joel really has is looking for some kind of back rank mate if he can force the king to the C, like off the C file. Like if he can get him to the B file and then back right mate him, that's probably like the best bet.
I think you're writing off the distinct chance of Zach dying IRL.
They're both running a bit low on time, so I think there's still some play. That's a dead knight.
Is it? Would you say the deadest knight you've ever seen?
Yeah, I mean it was hanging to the bishop, but now it's trapped. So, ooh, that's just dead to the bishop as well. Yeah, this is looking like a GG.
Damn it!
Oh, he's got to just take. Oh, he could just take the bishop. Oh well.
In the industry, we like to say this is taking a fat L. Wouldn't you concur?
Yeah, this is a rough game 1 for sure, but I think that Joel's position had some promise before he opened up everything a bit too much. We can see how quickly Zach can close this out.
Would you say that offering up your queens as a trade as white is a mistake?
It depends on like your position. Like I think if you're like ahead, like on material, I think exchanging queens is fine, right? You can just simplify to a win. But from like an even position, yeah, it's a little scuffed. Because like black is just such an easier time drawing if there's no queens. He broke up the bishop pair. I mean, this is like obviously theoretically lost, but like
at the level of play, there's always room for losing harder.
There's like time control concerns. Like checkmating with these pieces is not the most easy thing in the world. Like Zach does need to promote and get a queen to really concisely win.
Interesting that Joel didn't take the castle there.
Joel's looking for some kind of stalemate, maybe? Zach is getting a bit flustered on time. Oh, the rook's hanging. Oh, the rook on A1 is hanging. Zach's fixed it, though. Okay, just go for a draw, I guess, in game 1. Wow, there's no way that he gets away with that. Okay, cool. I was going to say, if he can get a draw out of this position, that would be incredible. I think there's some ideas about like X-raying the rook or something. Just hangs it to the... Yeah, it's a little awkward. Now Zach should just theoretically be able to promote the pawn and win, but I think Joel had some chances at this stage of the game, which is kind of crazy. He could try to stalemate. Yeah, a nice little ladder mate. I mean, Joel had some chances, even in that crazy endgame, like where he's like, +8. I think there was still chances.
I want to see the wavy thing.
That's game 1. We'll see what happens in game 2. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, this is the semifinals.
Winner gets a lot. Winner gets some shrooms. Winner gets money.
Gets trophies. There's like all sorts of stuff.
Oh, yeah, forgot about the trophy.
I'd like to state for the record, since Zach is a straight edge individual, that I do have rights to his shrooms if he wins in this tournament.
Damn, I'm mad you already talked about that with him. I was gonna if he won.
Oh, I didn't talk to him. I just know better.
Just have tips, okay.
This is already a bit of a scuffed position for black, I will say. Like moving that f6 pawn is really scuffed. It's just screwed the develop. Oh god, this is not looking good. Joel's looking for some creative novelties, I guess, but I'm not convinced. I don't necessarily believe in this position. What do you guys think?
Zach's position is looking a lot more symmetrical, and my lizard brain appreciates that, as opposed to Joel's clusterfuck of a board.
My lizard brain.
Lizard brain versus monkey brain.
Okay, but h4 here is not bad. Like pawn to h4, that's really putting a lot of pressure on that space. I also think g4, pawn g4 is not bad. Attacking the knight, opening up the king side. There's a lot of ideas.
A dastardly check.
That's sort of the problem with moving. You see, ultimately moving that f7 pawn to f6 opened up that diagonal, so it's just like bad from the beginning. But it's interesting that Joel's going for this sort of porcupine structure instead of trying to blow open the king, because the one advantage Joel has in this position is that he has a lot of advantage. Okay, he just hangs his queen in one. Okay, fine.
Yikers Island.
Oh no!
It's a disaster, a catastrophe. You see.
That's a fast way to go next.
There's a lot of shit on the board. It's very stinky.
This is definitely looking like a preserve the mental.
Oh god, that's also just hanging. He's just sacrificing the knight for a pawn that he's going to ultimately double. That's so sad. Oh,
Zach misses it.
Gifted a free bishop. We take
maybe an act of mercy.
There's a couple of ideas here still, actually, I think, in this position, but I think it's pretty lost. But
once again, at this level of play, anything is possible.
I just I don't know how I feel about. Oh.
Apparently, they're giving away free jalapenos wrapped in what I can presume is sausage at HEB.
I think that Joel's best bet is trying to rotate his pieces to the to the king side and try to blow open Zach's castle. That's a good move. I think e4 is a fine move here. That's exactly what I'm thinking. I think you can push h4 now. Just pawn h4 is probably good. Get the rook in the game. There's some mating chances, honestly, but you don't want to open up your own queen side in this sort of position where you can give white some counter initiative. That's obviously not ideal. You really wanted to use the tempo on the king side to continue to attack the king, because right now the king can't really move too much. Also, there's a really
move exactly 2 places.
There's a really nasty discovered check idea that's no longer really an option. But if he can open up the king a little bit, he could theoretically have the king on h1 and then move the bishop off of h3, hitting the queen. Say bishop to d7 hits the queen and then opens up the king to the rook, on h8 if the h5 pawn was gone. That could be a funny idea. That's probably what I would be looking for at this point. This is looking really scary, though. White's getting a lot of pieces down here.
Only working with a +4 lead, though.
It's pretty close to
Joel
mate.
also has quite the time lead as well.
It's pretty close to mate unless he can bring that bishop back to defend. I think bishop d7 right now hitting the queen is probably not a terrible idea. You do lose the bishop on c7 though, actually. So you're losing that bishop on c7 with check regardless. Yeah. Ugh. A little ugly. Oh, he hung the queen. Oh no, Joel can't see the bishop on h3. It's still. Oh, now it's not because he's in check. But that's just tragedy. The queen is hanging to the bishop on h3. Can take on c8, but
No.
now it's too late.
The counterattack.
Joel had his opportunity.
If you had one shot for one opportunity. And this is the second Eminem reference I've made in one chess match.
I like that move. That's a good move. Pins the rook to the king and gets the promotion through, which is nice. These games are wild.
Indubitably.
Oh, I think you could have pressured the rook. Yeah. Now you can't, but Zach seems awfully open to draws by repetition in these sorts of positions. I think Joel is perfectly happy with a draw here.
Just trying to get points on the board at this point. Zach, approaching 20 seconds to Joel's minute 38, does put him in a perilous position.
That's mate. There's a forced mate now. Let's see if if Zach can see it. It's rook takes on d5. Nope, missed it.
"15 seconds left for Zach. Zach moves his king down to g2. Pawn to h4, bishop to d4. King to f5, knight to d8, king to g6. 15 seconds on the clock, 16 seconds on the clock. King cannot take. He's looking for his move. He cannot find his move. He's looking for his move. There is a move. Joel, full panic mode. The one with a minute and 30 seconds should probably take a moment to slow down and think this through. I know it gives Zach ample time to also think, but in this position, he can't be taking L's like this. Oh, it's a disaster.
Oh no.
Okay, well, I mean, there's a lot of chances. Like, I think Joel just needs to have a little bit better awareness of the board, and he would have, like, pretty solid chances here.
You think that turning on his monitor would give him a benefit in this position?
I just think that Joel needs to, like, have a better sense, like, global perspective of the board, like, where he can see diagonals for his pieces that are, like, you know, bishops and queens, or, like, just tactical ideas, I think.
So what do you think about this bum rush of the e-pawn?
Well, I think black gave up any sort of control over the center, and ooh, now it's really good. Now your position as white is, like, really happy with this. There's even some dirty ideas where you could, like, put the bishop on, say, like, c4 and look to open up the center and then get the knight in there and try to fork the king and the rook or something.
Absolutely filthy, John.
He can bully this queen. I think, yeah, b4 is not too bad.
Really putting black on the defensive this game.
Black is not in a good spot right now. So I think Joel's best bet is to try to develop his pieces, you know, activate his queen, castle the king, and, like, you know, start to try to, like, consolidate in the center, because he has a lot of space control right now. En passant is forced, 100%. Oh, okay, fine. I guess we just don't do it then.
Tragedy. Joel probably didn't even see it. Monitor still off.
No.
If you're below 2,000, generally speaking, the rule of thumb is en passant is forced. But we can see if Zach misses this queen hanging. He doesn't miss it. Honestly, now this is a position where white might be inclined to trade queens because their development advantage is like so pronounced. Oh my god, I don't know about castling long into a broken structure. Ooh. 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 The king's all exposed now. I mean, white still technically has a positional advantage, but I do not like the way this is transposed at all.
What do you think there about taking with pawn instead of taking with rook?
On the one hand, you keep pawns in the center, right? And on the other hand, you're giving up the open file for the rook that can't really be contested, which is a little scuffed. But there's a nice fork here. If he gets another free move, he can go knight c7 and fork the king. Okay, it's free. Nice. That's a big fucking move.
As we say in the industry, sheesh.
He can't just pre-move it. I don't know, like why he's not just.
He just wants to make sure, man. This is for real. I wouldn't want to pre-move when all this money's on the line.
That's fair. Pawn's hanging on a7. Okay. Guess we're just like
pawn is no longer hanging on a7.
We can just absolutely bury our own bishop.
Okay, I think he's noticing that.
This is the best position we've seen Joel in all match, so it'll be really interesting to see how he converts from there. Oh, that walks into bishop a4. Check hits the rook. Yikes. Just a tactical misplay.
I sure do hate when I let the Catholic Church onto my backline.
He can't just take, bishop. Oh, I don't know about that. Now it's kind of scuffed. Believe it or not, white is still like handily winning with the bishop pair and this much control in the center.
Oh no.
What? It's defended by the rook. Knight takes d5, rook takes d5. Gives up the bishop pair, but I mean, it's still even. The pawn on a7 is still hanging now. I don't hate getting the knight involved, though.
Getting that knight back in action.
But, a free pawn is a free pawn. I think this is going to be the game where Zach's time management is going to come to bite him a little bit. I think if Joel just slows down the pace of this game a little bit, he should be fine.
Let's see if he panics again.
The pawn on a7 is no longer hanging.
No. Okay.
Okay, simplifying. I don't hate that. Forces an exchange of bishops. Wait.
What?
Why?
That just hangs the. Oh, okay.
Why?
I guess he got away with it, but that hung the rook to knight takes on d8, like the knight from c6. Like Joel just got away with literally murder. Like literally
a
just got
series of incredibly mediocre plays.
That was really close to being just outright the series.
As the kids say, that was mids.
This is pretty suboptimal.
Suboptimal, or as we say in color commentary, a pile of flaming garbage.
Oh no.
Yeah, this is good. I like knight to d4 to defend the pawn. I think if king takes pawn, yeah, I can trade here with the knight. Just take the pawn, I guess, and then knight takes knight, and then king takes bishop. Yeah. King takes pawn. Yeah, rook takes pawn. This is completely winning, right? This is absolutely completely winning for white. So, he's got to get the rook and continue to exploit it. Like it being tucked behind the pawn like that is not optimal. He wants to bring it up, and then I don't know about giving these series of checks. The rook's really got to go up to h7. Oh, okay. I mean,
Find ourselves in a precarious situation.
is he just gonna hang his rook? Nice. That's unfortunate. Well, now it's winning now it's completely winning for black, but it might be a draw. I think Joel's best bet here is to go take that pawn and take the draw.
Oh.
He's got to go grab that pawn. If he kills the pawn on a7, it's a draw by it's a forced draw. Oh, but Zach has kind of blundered this. Oh no, pawn F.
No,
pawn
no.
F, pawn
Oh
F8
my gosh.
Oh, he's lost. The game's over now.
Oh no.
Oh, that's such a disappointing way to lose. That's so unfortunate for him. God, poor Joel. He had such a winning position. It's tragic. He could have even forced a draw. There was absolutely no way to get out of that draw. But maybe he gets a forced repetition.
Potentially, or maybe Zach doesn't find the mates in 20 seconds. If you've played out any mate drills, I feel like this is in the bag.
It's always just mate in one here. Yeah. That's unfortunate. Well, let's get our contestants in here.
Oh my god, those are the hardest games I've ever played.
Congratulations, everyone. That was a good match.
Stressful.
Zach, winner's
Dude,
interview.
we made so many mistakes. Like, I was seeing mistakes all over the place. I was like, I gotta play fast.
Yeah, I played too fast on the last one. I should have won the last one. That was an L. But yeah, very well played.
The last two, I mean, like, maybe I'm wrong, but I definitely felt like I was behind pretty much the entire game.
I was frustrated because I blundered my queen and then played really well the rest of the game, but just couldn't make up having blundered my queen.
I think you guys will enjoy the analysis. I think there were some really interesting ideas, particularly for you, Joel. I think there was like a lot of opportunities that you had, which is great. I think you had a lot of opportunities.
Well, thank you.
I'm just amazed that the post-game screen didn't have double-digit blunders.
It did for Joel.
It definitely did. Oh
god. But congratulations, Zach! You are going to the finals. Woo!
Hey.
For the first.
I'd like to pretend that I know how to play chess better now that I've been in this tournament, but let's be real, not really.
Joel has come a long way from me, like checkbaiting him in 6 turns in Colorado, and then refusing to play another game of chess with me.
That happens.
Well, Joel, as you I'm sure are aware, making the semifinals is no small feat, and you will get your prizes as soon as they are ready.
Thank you. Yeah, this tournament's been going on so long that whatever technique you just saw in that game, I have learned since it started like a year ago.
Incredible.
Whatever technique I displayed in these games, I learned in the last 15 minutes.
You missed en passant, Joel.
Oh, did I?
I mean, so like, there was at least one time, maybe 2 times, I think, where like I played a pawn where it's like, yeah, I mean, he could en passant it, but like I was okay with that position as well. So
yeah,
a lot of it came down to like, especially in that last game and a bit in the second game as well. Like I was behind Joel on time by a decent amount, and like the second game, I was like, all right, I'm just gonna full Jared it.
I absolutely should have played my time advantage better. I mean, I'm so mad. Like, I literally is at one point where I'm like, okay, anyone who's half good at chess would win this game. But then I blundered my castle, my rook, trying to get my pawn promoted because that was stupid.
Also, Joel, at the end of this last game, Joel, you could have just like gone for the pawn and forced a draw from insufficient material.
Could I have made it to the pawn in time?
Yeah. I was worried about that. Like, I wasn't sure. Because like if you had gone for my pawn, I wasn't sure if it would be possible to win the game. But I knew it was like, okay, I need my knight to not let you promote your pawn, and if I can do that and get my pawn across, then I know I can win the game.
Mhm.
And also, John, I'd just like to point out that last game did not end in a stalemate.
Yes, it's true. No stalemates. Proud of you guys.
Oh my god. I'm watching my analysis on the second one, and up until like I'm at like 3/4 into the game, I was winning, and then I blundered, and then started winning again because you missed that I hung my rook.
There was a couple times that I noticed, like, oh wait, hang on, there's a unit that was hung, but
I can't remember if it was the second game or the third game, but
the
like
second definitely had a couple, that's for sure.
Zach, you like hung your queen for like 3 turns, and then you finally like took his bishop, and we were like, Joel.
Yeah.
I don't know if I remember I don't remember hanging the queen, but there were definitely other times where I was like, oh fuck, that's been hanging for a while.
His
Yeah.
bishop was like all the way across the board.
There was a bishop.
And,
There was a
like-
bishop on f1 that saw your queen on a6 diagonally, and you missed it for like 2 turns. But then you took the bishop anyway.
I know for sure game
You were
2
like,
and game
Joel,
3,
Joel.
I was really worried about time, and so like I wasn't looking for as many things.
Yeah, I mean, right in this position, Joel, like you can still win. This is like in this position you're looking at. I think if you go like rook h7 trying to hit that pawn and then just sort of consolidate on the king side, it's fine.
Yeah, I played a little too fast and loose on that rook.
Yeah, a little bit. End games are very tricky though.
For sure.
Very tricky. Well, good job, guys. Congratulations to both
Good
of you.
job.
And I'll see you in the finals, Zach.
Who's in the